When school's out, families look for places where children can enjoy the summer. That usually means heading outdoors, but it can also mean free access to dozens of art, cultural, and historic destinations throughout the state, many of them in Boston. It's all part of the Free Fridays series made possible by the Highland Street Foundation. To tell us about the lineup for this year is our guest from the foundation, the Senior Director of Programs, Noreen McMahon. Thank you very much for being with us, Noreen.
Thank you, Chris.
Noreen, tell me, how did this get started?
So when the Highland Street Foundation was celebrating the 20th anniversary of the founding of the foundation, our trustees decided they wanted to give a gift to the community, something that everyone could benefit from. And so an idea came up that they would open a museum for free, sponsor a free day. And that year, that was in 2009, they ended up partnering with 10 different cultural institutions in Boston and provided a grant for them to open for free. And on that day, 60,000 people attended those museums. And so they had no idea how successful it was going to be, but it was really telling that that many people attended. And so since, we've grown the program every year.
Well, the destinations are hardly surprising if you talk about places like the Children's Museum, the Museum of Fine Arts. But what about some of the other places people don't readily think of in this category?
Right, yeah, so we partner with all different size cultural institutions, some of the bigger ones, as you said, and some of the smaller ones. One that's new this year is the Nichols Museum, which is on Beacon Hill. It's a historic home. Also the First Corps of Cadets Museum, which is right on Comm Ave in Boston, which highlights some of the uniforms that the military have worn in the past, and we have, so it really just runs the gamut between big and small. We have the Museum of African American History, which is also on Beacon Hill. So there really is something for everyone.
I imagine a lot of what goes on here is not that a small child especially absorbs a lot of information from the museum, but I guess there's a lot of interaction between child and parent that's going on here, right?
Exactly, exactly. We find that a lot of families, grandparents, caregivers take advantage of Free Fun Fridays and use it as an opportunity to just have a day out with their kids. Some of the venues are outdoor. They might go to the Arnold Arboretum, and they provide children's programming, and then they may just have a picnic and really just enjoy the day together.
Now, I have to confess that one of the first times I was taken by a museum, by someone in the family, the thing I enjoyed the most was not the museum, but the trolley ride to get there. I mean, I guess kids, they want anything that will just get them out of the neighborhood or the house.
Absolutely, yeah. I think that's what's so great about this program. We get a lot of feedback from people who participate, and they say it might be their first time to that museum or into that neighborhood or into that town. And sometimes it is just the little things, like there might be a clown performing for the people waiting in line, and that's what the child is taken with. So it really is, and I have to say our partners, the museums, they really go out of their way to make it a special day for patrons, because they know that these are folks that might not normally be coming through their doors, so they really work hard to make it a special experience.
Well, I know it's great that these things are free, because I still take advantage of free days at museums, but on the other hand, a lot of people, they might mentally say to themselves, oh, museums, I don't go to museums, that's not for me. I mean, do you change that, you think, in some way?
I think we are, that's what we're trying to do with this program. We do a lot of outreach to organizations that we think are reaching those folks that might not normally go to these places. So we send the schedules out to all the youth organizations, like the Boys and Girls Clubs across the state, the community health care centers, food pantries, places where there might be an economic barrier or a language barrier. And then once the folks, if we do get them there, once they get there, I think they find that it really is a place for them, because they feel welcomed and enriched and entertained, and realize that this really could be a place for them to enjoy.
This has been a news. We're talking with Noreen McMahon from the Highland Street Foundation. Noreen, one other destination here, it's not a museum, it's not even a building really, the Harbor Islands. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so one of the Free Fun Fridays is the Boston Harbor Islands. So if you show up that morning, you can get a ticket to go out to one of the Boston Harbor Islands. And they send ferry boats all day. They actually have extra ferry boats that day to make sure they can serve as many people as possible. And when they get out to the islands, they can explore. There's programming, they have games, scavenger hunts, or you can just have a picnic and go for a swim.
Plus, if people have not experienced this, I mean, there's this whole, sense of being out in the middle of the ocean, and the city is just this little small thing off in the horizon. I mean, it's a different world, isn't it?
It is a different world, and it's so neat because so many of the people that experience it are right from the city of Boston, right from the neighborhoods, and they didn't realize those islands are out there for everyone to enjoy.
Finally, I imagine there is something in this for the institutions, because people who go there once, they'll come back probably, won't they?
Right, absolutely. That's what we hope. The institutions work very hard to, like I said, make them feel welcome, and also they may provide them with discounted memberships or come back again. And so I think, and we hear from them that it's oftentimes people do come back once they visit once.
Well, if you want to go there for the first time, especially on a free Friday, where can people get some more details about when these are going to be happening?
They can visit our website, which is www.highlandstreet.org, or call our office. All the information is right there on our website, and they can access the information there.
Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you, Chris.
Noreen McMahon from the Highland Street Foundation.